What's good, racing world? This is Mr. Matt Racing. My name is Matt Dobbs, and this is a new edition of Time Trial Tuesday. Mayhem in Music City is about the best way I can describe it, especially from the NASCAR Cup Series race this past Sunday. But we're going to get to that in just a couple of minutes. Right now, I want to get really quickly into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So let's just get right into it. Now, let's start off with the Craftsman Truck Series. I got to tell you, Rajah Caruth was pretty darn close to solidifying another win in his truck career. He had the lead up until the last lap until Layne Riggs made the pass on fresher tires to his outside and stole the win away from the driver, the number 7. Riggs gets his 3rd win of the season, 2nd in a row in the series. So now my question there is, has Layne Riggs solidified himself as a championship threat? At this point, I'm going to loosely say yes. Loosely is the key word for that. He's had a few consistency issues to start the season after his win in St. Petersburg, but lately he's been racking up some top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes. He's been running in contention for the most part, and now he's rattled off back-to-back victories. Built himself a rather healthy point lead over Caden Honeycutt. So he's starting to figure it out at the right time. But of course, there is such a thing as peaking too early, so that's another reason why I say it's a loose yes so far. If he can keep this going, then I can solidly say that he's a championship threat this year. But safe to say, Front Row Motorsports bringing some heat in the summer. Now, let's go to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Brent Cruz had the lead in the 3rd stage until Justin Allgaier passed him with 17 to go. But Cruz didn't give it up easy. He gave him a fight for a couple laps, but ultimately Allgaier prevailed with his 2nd straight Nashville win, and yet another win on the season overall. Will Brent Cruz win this season is going to be my question. Honestly, I think he will. Right now he's kind of going through what drivers like Chase Elliott and Casey Kane have gone through in their rookie seasons. They've come close a lot of the time. They've had speed. They just haven't been able to close the deal just yet. And Brent Cruz, I can think of this as like the 2nd or 3rd time this year where he's had a chance to win, but it got away from him late. I can look at Rockingham as another example of that. But Cruz has been fast. He's solidifying himself as a potential threat for the championship as well in that series. Don't be surprised whatsoever if at some point Brent Cruz ends up in victory lane. He's got the speed to do it. And he's got the drive as well. I mean, he wasn't afraid to pack the air on the 7 of Allgaier. Now let's go to the Cup Series. Mayhem is the word to describe this race. Brake rotor failures. Possible retaliation. A 3-wide finish among 3 teammates. But at the end of the day, it was Denny Hamlin notching his 2nd win of the season after passing both Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe to get the job done. I got a series of things to dive into about this race. First off, how do you stop Toyota? Every week it seems like Toyota drivers, whether it be Joe Gibbs Racing or 2311, or even the occasional appearance of Eric Jones from Legacy Motor Club, they're up there battling for the lead, for good finishes, top 5s. Like they're just in contention week after week, and they've just been getting the job done a lot lately. So at this point, how do you stop Toyota? They clearly have it figured out this year. The truth of the matter is, you almost can't stop them. You can try to contain them, but you can't stop them. Because at the end of the day, Joe Gibbs Racing and 2311 are going to be championship threats this year. Like, there's no question about it. Now, a couple other things I do want to point out from this past weekend's Cup race. First off, we had 3 brake rotor failures throughout that race. Ross Chastain, Connor Zilisch, and AJ Allmendinger. How concerning should that be? Let's look into it like this. This track was 1.3 miles in length. It can race like an intermediate. It can also race like a short track. They used the 750 horsepower package instead of the 670 like they used to in years past with this car. However, at Gateway a year ago in the Chase, we saw brake rotor failures happening in that race as well. And that used the 670 horsepower package. So at that point, I can't help but think maybe it's just the car. It very well could just be the car because you carry a lot of speed at the end of these straightaways, but because of how tight these corners get, you got to use a lot of braking as well. And when the brake rotors are exploding on these cars like that, that just shows you the brake bias wasn't set up all that great. And especially considering these were 3 Chevrolets that had the same issue. Yeah, is it the car? Is it the brake bias? Or is it the way it was just set up in general? Tell me what you think. And another thing I do want to point out as well, Austin Dillon wrecking Brad Keselowski. Dillon got wrecked earlier in the race in the middle of the pack. He seemed to have been mad at Brad Keselowski for shooting down the racetrack in front of him and blocking him, trying to protect his position. In turn, he gets spun from behind by Keselowski's teammate Chris Buescher. So shortly later in the race, Dillon shoots down the track and hits Keselowski in the right rear quarter of his back bumper, sending Brad up into the wall. Should that result in a penalty for Dillon? Honestly, that could have been avoidable. Could have let bygones be bygones. There was still a lot of racing left at that point. So I think at the very least, Dillon should receive some sort of a points penalty for that. Because I don't see any other reason for him to shoot all the way down towards the apron on the front straightaway for any other reason aside from getting back at Keselowski. NASCAR has been very strict with right rear hooks as of late. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Dillon gets some sort of a penalty because of that. But overall, the racing in Nashville was pretty darn good, considering the cautions that we had in the Cup race. I would like to see this race in the chase, personally. Maybe not in the immediate future, but definitely at some point I would like to see Nashville be in the chase. Now, I want to know what you guys think. What did you guys think about the racing from Nashville Superspeedway? Let me know in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like, share this video, subscribe for more NASCAR content. It's totally free, greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the little bell that notifies you when I upload. And stay tuned for this coming Friday. NASCAR goes to Michigan International Speedway. And also stay tuned. I might be doing something special when I hit 100 subscribers. So subscribe and stay tuned. Until then, see you on the road.